Oh, mate, men always look young.
Well,
We age better than women.
we actually do. I think we age like a fine wine, to be honest with you. I think we do.
They're like milk.
Um, yeah, that,
But let's do this then.
you and the one-liners, bro, worse. I'm telling you, he comes up because sometimes I listen when you rail to get the women up in the
Yeah.
TikToks. Oh, bro, you throw a hand grenade and then you just go quiet. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
And they go, bah. They just, I love it, man.
All the pussycats come out. Guys, welcome. Boys, how are we?
Good,
Cool,
bro.
mate.
Good.
We've got another
How
guest
are you?
here, another great guest.
Thank you.
Zoltan.
Zoltan. Thanks for
Thank
coming,
you.
man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for
We're gonna
having
get
me.
a lot of advice off this wise man. You know, it's always good to be
Yeah.
around a wise man. Ain't that right, boys?
Well,
100.
I'll try. I'll try.
Give
I'll
us a
try my best.
give us a bit of an introduction, man, about yourself.
Wow. Well, Zoltan Banyoy. A lot of people know me through the bodybuilding because I did pretty well in the bodybuilding days. Just was in the private security sector. Did a little bit of, you know, other things that ended me up in trouble as well. But yeah, just now, um, studying Cert 3 4 community services to be a youth counsellor. Did the green collar program, sort of working with reintegration with men and women out of incarceration. We'll go into that obviously more so, and then government funding came. They pulled it because we were doing so well. But being what is it, a 1%er, outlaw, in bikie clubs, and I've got pretty, full on into that. And then after my incarceration, I thought I'm going to change my ways a little bit because it only tends to end up in one way or another, if you know what I mean. Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah. How
But
old are you,
yeah.
by the way, Zoltan?
Oh, it's actually my birthday on the 14th, man. So I'll be 48 this year.
Still young.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, look, the
Oh,
spirit
you
is
look it
young.
too, huh?
I appreciate it, man. The spirit's young, but the body's not. Like that song that, one of the inspirational songs from Rocky. Like at the moment, because it's winter, I've been listening to a lot of Rocky music while I'm training. And he's, the one of the quotes in it sticks out to me, it resonates. He goes, the body's saying no, but the spirit's still saying no, like you're not going to give up, you know what I mean? And it's starting to get a little bit harder, but I've had to change. I can't do like the heavy, crazy heavy stuff anymore. Your body just a bit banged up just for years and years of smashing some pretty heavy weights. So the joints are not too happy, but yeah, to say the least, yeah.
Bro, what got you into before anything, we'll start with bodybuilding.
Yeah.
When did you get into it, like into that, and who was your inspiration, man?
Oh, look, I started when I was 14, bro, because I was bullied and picked on, to be honest with you. I was a pretty quiet kid, being European, name of Zoltan, back in the day, it was like, it's not like it is as multicultural. 50 years ago, it was pretty hectic, man, Australia. It was more Aussies and whatnot. But I got picked on because of my name, and I actually learned English in school, bro, because my parents came here in '56 after World War II when we had a revolution from fighting Russia, for our independence because they occupied our country. So, my parents, they didn't really know English. They were, factory workers. Then they got into the jewelry, working with jewels and stuff like that later on. But yeah, so I had to learn how to speak English, read and write when I was in school. So I was bullied and picked on, man, because I can still, even though I was born here, I can still speak Hungarian extremely well because, yeah, if that makes sense. So I can actually speak it. That's my flag. That's the flag there. I'm a proud Australian, love this country. I don't like where it's going. That's for sure. The government's destroying it.
None of us do.
Yeah, I don't. Nah, it's just so. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my blood, where it's from, and I can speak it. And obviously, I've got the name from there. But yeah, I started training, bro, guys, because I was bullied and picked on. I was a quiet kid, man. And then just it was enough's enough, and I got into the gym, and I started just growing pretty quick, and that's how it sort of started, man. I never thought I would ever end up competing and representing Australia at a high level. It just happened. You know what I mean?
What was the highest you went?
Heavyweight Australasian champion. Qualified. I won that. I qualified for the Universe and the Worlds, and I qualified to turn pro to go for my pro card in the IFBB. So IFBB is obviously the Mecca.
The Mecca,
yeah. At off season, I used to get up to around about 128 kilos, and I'm about 5'10", so it's pretty big. You know what I mean? Off season, on stage, I'd be around about 103, shredded though. Like my legs were feathered. You know what I mean? Like, but that was an era of Dorian Yates and the guys.
I was just going to ask you that. Which era were you in?
That was Dorian Yates and Ronnie Coleman was coming. You know what I mean? Ronnie was just coming. So it was Dorian Yates, that freaky look, but shredded. That era was the best. Like, to me, that era was the best. You know what I mean? By far. Like, my all-time favorite
Flex Wheeler and all of them,
Yeah, I met them in person, bro. Kevin LeBron. Kevin to me was the best. You know what I mean? The most.
It's a shame that he didn't win anything, huh? He didn't get an O.
Nah, that he always got second. He won a lot of pro shows. He won a heap of pro shows, like the Arnolds and stuff. Mr. Olympia always had that thing of 6 in a row, 8 in a row. It always was this weird. The guy who won it tended to always. Now it's a little bit more.
It's different, It's different now. I've been watching a lot of it.
It's changed a lot. Changed a lot.
It used to be like the whole big freaky look before. Yeah. Now it's more striations and all of that stuff.
Well, it's going back to that. It's going back to the
Arnold.
Older.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going back to the older way. Yeah. Which is a good thing. Things have changed.
Who do you think had the best body?
Ever.
You reckon Arnold?
Look. No, I don't think so.
I like Flex Wheeler's on body,
Yeah, Flex Wheeler looked amazing. That tight waist.
To
me, the best ever bodybuilder ever. Look, Ronnie Coleman at his best when he had the tight waist, when he just won the second Mr. Olympia. No one can match that.
Yeah.
No one ever will match that guy. But best ever body, wow. To me, I used to love, like I say, I loved Kevin LeBron, you know what I mean? But Ronnie, like the aesthetics, Ronnie was...
He was just massive, but...
Dude, like when I saw him in person, when he won his last Mr. Olympia, I was going for my pro card at that time. Man, we saw him, and I've seen so many IFBB pros, but that guy was next level, man. The muscle he had on him, like the quads, it looked like a racehorse's back legs. The hamstrings were falling off the bone, bro. The abductors, the sweep, just the VMO. It was just my two brothers, we were sitting there going, am I allowed to swear?
Go.
What the fuck is that? It was like an alien come from another planet, but his gut was starting to get distorted at that time.
Yeah.
But,
it starts to come out a bit on.
But look, Ronnie, Arnold, for his time, he was awesome. But I reckon there was guys probably at his time that were a bit better. There was the black guy from. Do I? I do. But at that time, I was getting out of bodybuilding a little bit because I had a lot of injuries. So I got into the MMA and kickboxing for a while. I got into jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. He looked amazing. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. But the one thing I didn't like, he had very narrow shoulders
Mm.
for his size.
For
You know what I
size, yeah.
mean? He had freaky arms, freaky everything. But
He had a good back
if you
too.
still put, if you still
Yeah.
put Ronnie at his best, I think, and Phil at his best, I still think.
I think Ronnie will, yeah, beat him.
Ronnie will still win, man. Ronnie will still win, yeah, for sure. But remind me, guys, I've got a story to tell you about Arnold and what I think of him. Yeah, because we were one of the gold class sponsors at the Arnold Classic, and I was meant to meet my idol. Yeah, and yeah, we'll go back to that. Just remind me.
100%.
Yeah,
So you've
remind
trained
me.
as well. So you've trained in martial arts as well.
Yeah, I've done, bro. Yeah.
Is that because of you like the bullying and that, or?
I got into the kickboxing MMA back in the day, a lot more Muay Thai back in those days, but gym, because I had some friends who were Cambodian.
Mm.
So
Wow.
they were Cambodian, very good friends of mine, and they used to do a lot of. See, Cambodians reckon they started Muay Thai, like the real traditional style of Muay Thai, whereas the Thais, they stole it and made it more mainstream. So
Kind of like KFC.
yeah. That's it. So I was training with like Cambodian guys, and we were just training with his dad, who was, in the backyard, and we were kicking banana trees and all that sort of shit. You know what I mean? I think because Van Damme and Bloodsport came out at that time.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
I just made, so everyone was like, just trying to.
The whole banana tree scene.
Yeah, the
So
banana.
I still remember that. Yeah.
That was how
kickboxer.
good was it? Yeah.
I remember seeing that movie. I went and tried to kick a tree, bro.
Did you?
Yeah.
But the question is, there's the banana tree part, but did you do the whole like dancing in the club as well with the girls, and you have the fight?
Yeah, with the suspenders.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll be honest with you. Look, when I was 18, there's a very good friend of mine, Carlos, and we lost connection, and we just got in connection again recently. We got married, this, that. But him and I, we used to do stripping. Yeah. So yes, there you go. I knew his face was. Yeah,
I can
look,
respect.
I was only about 18, 19 years old, and
How'd that go?
I needed the money though. You know what I mean? I had the long hair. That was the time. You know what I mean? Bit of, yeah. And
Zoltan.
women, I got to say, are worse than men. Women are worse than men.
It makes sense now. It makes sense.
What
that couch at the back with the stripper happening, the whole thing, now it makes sense. That couch.
Bro, you walk
Look,
right into that one, bro.
Yeah, look, it was. Oh man, I'll tell you right now, women are worse, because my uncle and some good friends, they own their own strip clubs. That's where I first started doing security. And like, guys just sit there, because you knew back in the day, if you touch the girls, you get wrecked. I'm not security. And that was when I was doing security, bro. It was on VHS cassette. There was no 4K resolution, 12K, whatever, facial recognition. You could, mate. It was like the Wild Wild West. But what I'm trying to say is, women, like, mate, we used to get attacked. Like Carlos will say this. We reminisced about this on TikTok recently, and we were just like, we used to come home scratched and just mauled. Women, like, I'm telling you, they act like butter wouldn't melt in their mouth, but
yeah, once they get a bit rowdy,
dude, they are worse than us. I'm telling you, they all want to portray. I know you'll have.
I think having those scratches is probably one of the most beautiful things you could have in this planet.
Dude,
would you guys agree? 100%, man.
Carlos wasn't too happy about it. He wasn't very happy. There was one chick, because we were so nervous. It was her first night. I know I'm going back from the whole bodybuilding thing, but they gave us like 8 bourbons. We were just like sculling these bourbons. And it was like an over 28s or 30s night. And we were 18, man. I think he was 20. And we were just like mauled like a piece of meat. So they're actually worse. I'm telling you now, they are worse.
Well, that's what happens when you jump. If you jump in the cougar pit, what's going to happen? You're going to get scratched and mauled, bro.
Bro, I'm talking. Carlos will piss himself when he watches this eventually because there was one woman, she shredded him to bits. He was so pissed off. I was laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. I just go get him, go attack him. But yeah, they are worse than us. I'm telling you right now, they portray this, you know. Oh, I don't do, you know. But anyway, that's another podcast, isn't it?
I've never done this before, babe. You're the first.
Yeah.
We've heard that line. I've lost count.
Oh my God.
So, bro, how was it like growing up for you in that, man? Like, you know, was it a rough neighborhood you grew up in, or was it just a rough?
I grew up in Dandenong, man.
Oh well.
Look, Spaniard just did a walkthrough there recently. But look, by that time, you know, let's say I'm about 18 years old, I was already fairly big, you know what I mean? And I just started doing security. I was working at Stylus, which was massive nightclub. And being by then I had at least 4 years of training behind me. I was already around about 90, 95 kilos, so I was reasonably strong. But Dandenong, look, I live in the country now, and I go there now. Now I realise how fucking bad it is, guys. Like, now I do. Like, I caught the V line down to see somebody to go for the boxing, and I live near dairy farms, and I live near the snow now. We got crystal clear waters where I actually just went and got some freshwater crayfish. There's trout in there and stuff like that. Dandenong, I'm telling you, there's probably burnout cars and shopping trolleys and hypodermic needles in the water, bro. Like, you know, it's like
there's a big mix in that area too. Eh? There's a lot of mix.
Bro, yeah, back in the
Middle
day,
Eastern Islanders.
Yeah, there is. But back in the day, it was like I bought my first house. It was a 2-bedroom unit. My mum went as my guarantor. It was like $52,000 for a 2-bedroom unit.
Oh,
so my mum goes, you know, bro, that's how it was. And I bought in William Avenue with all the Albanians. So, and if the Albanians love you, they love you. If they don't, just leave the country. There's no middle with Albanians, bro.
Yeah, Albanians are pretty.
Yeah, they're hectic, bro. You know what I mean? And I was good with them because I had, you know, I was training. By this time about 20 years old. I'm working at the clubs. I'm fairly big. So if they love you, they love you. So that's, you know, and I'm still good with them all, you know what I mean? So we did all right, bro. We had our little crew and I knocked around with them and, you know, they all knew me and I always hung around older guys because I didn't connect with the younger guys. You know what I mean? It just sort of, I always was, even though, let's say I'm in at that time I was 18, 19, 20, I was hanging around with guys in their 30s already or older. Some of them were, you know, a lot older. I never connected with the younger guys, you know, because I was always in the gym. You know, you hardly ever see, you know, younger guys in the gym, you know, that much or not. By the age of 20, I was already competing. By the age, I was junior Victorian, Southern States, and I went for the Australias as a junior. Under 90s, I was already placing top 3, and in my first show, and I was actually Adam King, who was a competitive bodybuilder, who was in his late 30s, who my older brother, idolized, right? Adam King, you know, all this sort of shit. And I did my first show. I won the juniors, smoked it. Then, bro, we competed against each other, and guys who were getting ready for their pro card, I placed 3rd in the under 90s in my first ever show, bro. They were seasoned guys, and I beat Adam King. So when he came to work with us, because we were working security, I was 20, he was about 36 in his peak. Oh, mate, the guys at security they gave him such a hard time. They go, what the fuck, Adam? The kid beat ya, this is that. And they wouldn't. And he was just like, oh. And I was just humble. I was just like, yeah, look, you know, it is what it is, and la, la, la. And, you know, I didn't say much. But he left the venue, bro. He changed the venue because everyone was giving him such a fucking hard time. And then, look, the notoriety did come from that, from winning. from winning, like as in just with the guys and with the girls. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's a weird scenario. It does happen. It does happen.
Like Dandenong as a whole, was it a like a bad? So has it always been like that with the the rep that it has now? Like when Spaniard walked through it, was it always like that?
But to me, bro, because we were born and sort of bred there, I know half the crew that was walking with him. I fucking know them. Like they were kids. You know, they were just growing up when a few of even the Usos who were in the background, I recognized them.
Oh, seriously?
You know what I mean? Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And I knew all those Albanian kids. I know their uncles and their dads. I'm serious. So, like, to me, it was like, you know, like, I'm lucky now. I'm living in a new estate. It's beautiful. It's clean. It's crisp. And then, but yeah, like, I think, like, yeah, he did the hood work, walk through there. It sort of did reflect to me that, because we didn't come from much money, bro, you know what I mean? So we were just happy with what we had, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think you just
happy with what was on the streets and that,
Yeah, you're desensitized to it, bro. You know what I mean? You're desensitized to it. So you don't see it because you're around it all the time. But now that I'm living in the country, I open my sliding door, walk out, I can see rolling hills, bro. It's gorgeous.
Wow.
Besides when they're fucking jets in the sky flying around. But we live, I live in such a beautiful area. All the houses, like the house that I'm in at the moment is 3 years old. So it's in a brand new estate. And, but when I go there.
It's different. There's a different worlds, huh? Oh,
yeah,
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Like my mom, my stepfather at the time, they tried their best and they did well. They did good. We had a beautiful house. We had a really beautiful house. We never went without, but we were in Dandy North. So Dandy North was a little bit better than the parts that Spaniard specifically walked through. But there are some cooked out areas, because I'll be honest with you, I went there recently with my uncle because he lives in Hallam. He bought there 25, 30 years ago. And I go to with Uncle Jeff, I go, oh fuck, this place is giving me anxiety. It's actually, because he comes to where I am and it takes him about 1 hour and 20 minutes on the highway at 110. But he goes, I wish I could come out here. And I said, man, I love it where I am, bro. I just, after guys, like I say, after my incarceration, I wanted to simplify my life. You know what I mean? I wanted to simplify my life.
How long look were you in jail for?
Look, I'm lucky I only did a year, but I hemorrhaged money. I had good lawyers. But while I was inside, they did my DNA and they tried to get me on something I did about 7 years ago. So my old business partner, when I had a security company, he was my lawyer. He went pro bono for me. He's a very good criminal lawyer, and we got the main charges thrown out, and I pled up to the criminal damages. It was supposedly, they were saying, commercial burglaries, factories, or some shit.
You said you were in a motorcycle club.
Yes.
Did this happen when, if you don't mind talking about it, like, did this happen when you were a member or off member, or like how long were you a member for?
I was a member for around about close to 4 years, because obviously I went in at the craziest time when we had that massive lockdown. You know what I mean? And no one knew what the heck was going on. Remember, and we had a superior overlord called Dan Andrews over here who just destroyed the state and locked down everything. Barry, like when I got arrested, I was in the holding cells and I went to the city. The petrol prices went down to 62 cents in the city in Melbourne. It was a fucking ghost town. Like it was, everyone was, they were acting like it was the zombie virus, like,
it was crazy.
Like they were acting like it was The Walking Dead, because I love that show before it went all crazy. Like at the end, they didn't know what to do with it. But I liked Fear the Walking Dead because what I actually really liked about that, and I know it's going off it,
Sure.
what I like about those zombie apocalypse things, I love seeing that this supposed utopia that the government has put together, how fast it crushes down when you take bare necessities away from humans and how they change. You know what I mean? I like seeing that. I like seeing it. It's because it's true. That's what happens.
I seen
that's
that.
what happens.
I was saying
You know
that
what I mean, though, bro?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
bro.
mean?
Like, so during 2020, I was working New Year's Eve security, right? And they were saying that, because the lockdowns were happening. I think it was 2020, at the end of 2020. And I was in Darling Harbour. And just after the fireworks, because pretty much all our shifts end pretty much at 12 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
And usually, like every other New Year's I've been to, you see a lot of people out still. Clubs are open. And if they're not open, there's people everywhere. So what was crazy was, I was like, I thought I'll never see this, only in movies. So it started raining. As I'm closing everything up, it's like 12:30. I walk outside Darling Harbour. I promise you, not even one person at Darling Harbour. I couldn't even find one person. Well, about 12:30, 12:45.
Wow.
Because a lot of people left pretty much after 12 o'clock. It literally just went boom, gone. When I walked outside, I thought I was in a movie because it was raining, dead quiet in the city, and I could just hear the rain. Never ever, I'll probably never ever see that again. And that was during the craziest time. Yeah, it was freaky. I was just waiting for some zombie to come out or some shit. I was like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean?
Just chase you down the street. But it just shows you what human nature is really about and what, like I say, guys, like the supposed utopia, when everything's good, but society just literally can collapse within a couple of days. You know what I mean? Look at what happened with the toilet paper. I was inside with the boys. We go, they're losing it, and then they're gonna kill. Just out of control. They just lost the plot over toilet paper, bro. You know what I mean? So what happens if the power grid goes out and you got no water, or you can't cook, or you can't have? What do you do? What are you gonna do? I'm a hunter. I go hunting. I go fishing. I go camping. You know what I mean? I've got a deer head. I'll show you guys. Like,
oh wow,
you know what I mean?
It's become a hanger.
Well, it's got my cowboy hats on there, bro. But that's my best ever deer that he's been taxidermied. I go hunting, bro. I go with a bow, compound bow. I've been doing that for about 10 years. I'm a man's man. You know what I mean? I love my chainsaw. I love chopping down trees. That's why I moved out into the country. You know what I mean? Like 4 minutes from my house, there's freshwater crayfish in the water there, bro. You know what I mean? And there's trout.
Yeah, you're showing us the other day.
Yeah, bro. I just want to get away from the madness and be a bit more back to nature and reset things. Because going back to the club, look, my marriage broke down from 17 years. We were the power couple. We were unbelievable. We had an amazing daughter, and then my little brother died. Well, he wasn't technically my little brother, but he was more like my brother than my actual brother. You know what I mean? Brothers.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes it's sad. Sometimes you've got someone. He was just such a good human. He was a lover, not a fighter. The girls loved him. He was a pretty boy. And, he was just such a good kid, man. Everyone loved him. Like, when he passed away, there was thousands of people at his funeral and everyone was shattered and devastated. And then my stepfather passed away 3 months later from cancer. And my world fell apart, guys. I'll be honest with you. So the anxiety and depression was next level. And that's when the substance abuse and the irrational behavior because I couldn't.
Is this before you joined the club, or was this
Yeah,
while
it
you?
is.
Okay.
And I got back into this, security. I went and started being I was a doorman at Love Machine. In Chapel Street, bro. It's who's who in the zoo at Love Machine, bro. It's like exclusive VIP, people. A lot of the who's who from Sydney rock up because, I partied with a lot of hectic people from Sydney because I was the head door selector, being a bigger guy, and they were rocking up in Lambos and Rolls Royces and Phantoms and Ghosts at the same time. And then I got good connected with them, and oh mate, some of the parties I had with them, fucking hell. I'm surprised I walked out of the apartment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what was happening. You Sydney guys, next level.
We're all right,
You
eh?
know what I mean? Yeah.
We
They know how
all
to party. They know how to party. Oh, then I just, through that, that's where I started connecting with people. You know what I mean? In all the wrong ways and all the wrong places, and yeah, if that makes sense.
How'd you feel?
Mhm.
Sorry, SG, go for it, bro.
How did it actually start? Like, you met someone, offered something, or what? Like, give us a bit of a story if you've got it. If you can speak.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Like, there's one Albanian guy I know. I've known him since he was 16. I actually just bumped into him again on the weekends. I moved out in the middle of nowhere, and he's bought a farm out here because he owns butchers and stuff like that. Anyway, so he was connected with these guys, and one thing led to another. People are giving you handshakes with this, that, and other in it. You know what I mean? But that's how it is. You know what I mean? Because I'm the head door selector. And this place, I don't know if you guys know Love Machine, and
I heard of it.
It's hectic. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hectic. And a lot of the who's who in Melbourne and Sydney, it's all the VIP booths. The chicks are cracker. You know what I mean? The girls are all promotional girls. The VIPs go up to $6,000 to $8,000. The big bottles of Belvedere, and it's like
the works.
It's like fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like Vegas nightclub.
Yeah.
And I'm the head door selector. Yeah. We used to get the football players, rugby players, all the celebrities. Bro, when you're the head door selector, and bro, I was referred to as the best dressed door selector, bro. Always.
We can tell by what you're dressing right now.
No, yeah. Like, always in winter.
Yeah, I love that
leather. Yeah, it's a
Ralphie.
Ralph. Yeah, it's a Ralphie, bro. Yeah. So, always leather gloves. Cashmere, possum fur scarf, nice. Trench coat. Nice. Always dressed well. Because if you're the head door selector and you're knocking back people in Chapel Street, which is the fashion capital of Victoria, Melbourne, you got to look fucking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just
this. Play the part.
You got to, man. You got to be dressed well. And bro, you know what? At the peak of that club, we would have 10 guys on the door. Not all jammed in, but 2 across the road, 2 over here, 2 over there, and they were all Samoan or Usos, or boxers, kickboxers, MMA guys, proper. You know what I mean? It was no, so if anyone came, they just fucking surround the door and there's 10 deep. You know what I mean? And they're all, and it had to be. It was a hectic door, bro. So everyone wants to know who's this fucking big guy calling the shots. You know what I mean? And everyone's giving you handshakes. Oh, hey, bro, hey, come with us. And then all the girls want to know you, obviously, because there's a VIP line, then there's the other people's line, and then the smoking hot chicks always come to that line. So it's just one of those things. And then that's when you bump into guys in clubs. You know what I mean?
How did you what was your, what were you thinking when you're like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to join? Is it because you started
I don't know
life?
if I fucking was thinking, bro. I don't think I was thinking at the
But
time.
is it more because you started enjoying that, maybe that type of lifestyle?
Yeah, I was just trying to say
I
that.
was
Flashy
attention.
life.
I was broken. I was empty on the inside. You know, I was acting, guys, I'll be honest with you, I was acting like I had my fucking shit together, and I was so fucking broken on the inside. I'm man enough to admit that, because the alcohol and the substance abuse at that time was next level. You know what I mean? It was just masking this emptiness of my marriage, my little brother, and you know, my dad, and just this emptiness inside of me. And then I thought money's going to fill that. And then I ended up buying a couple of shops. I was making buku money. You know, my shops were doing really well. I had supplement stores. I was killing it. You know, I can talk underwater and I can sell. And because you're a big guy, people will go, well, what do you take? I'll go, well, give me your credit card. We're going to max it out. So it's just, and I thought that was going to fill the void inside. But guys, it still didn't, man. You know what I mean? Money's not everything, man. I'm telling you, I had it all. I lost it all. Now just having inner peace in myself. You know, after my incarceration, you know, I'm not trying to preach. I've said this on my other podcast. You know, I was with a lot of the Muslim brothers, and I read the Quran in there, but Jesus was always in my life, so I could never denounce that. And I got baptized and became a born again Christian, and just trying to be a better person. But you know, I think a lot of guys, when they go into a club type of thing, it's you're trying to find a brotherhood. You know what I mean? And just this wicked man, mate. The fucking parties we had with the boys. I'm just right now closing my eyes. I can just remember the crazy nights we used to have, and just unbelievable, you know. But sometimes the party's got to end, you know.
Any regrets?
Yes and no. I think personally, the road I was on, if I didn't go to prison, I think I would have probably not been even sitting here right now. If that makes sense. I think some guys tend to have time in there to reflect, detox, and become a stronger person. You know what I mean? I always end up training like 2-3 hours a day, 7 days a week. I dropped a lot of weight because I put on a lot of weight because I was eating and drinking too much and just living this happy-go lifestyle. My blood pressure was out of control, and then I got, you know, I was lucky enough to be in there with a very, very good friend of mine who's like literally like family, who's doing a massive stint, and I just had time to reflect on everything. And him and I lived together, and we had time to talk. And I think, I hate to sound corny, but I think almost like God put me there for a reason, to be honest with you, because I know the path I was on, nothing good was coming of it, man. Nothing good. You know, you can Google my name, and my shop ended up in like a arson attack. Then my clubhouse ended up in an arson attack.
Oh, look,
you know,
I was looking at that.
I'd admit it, bro. And when they echo come down, and I can say this, it was on the news, they found shit in my shop. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. And yeah, it's just one of those things. You play stupid games, you can get stupid prizes. But
how was jail at the time?
During COVID was wow, because like I say, man, they were acting like a zombie apocalypse is coming. So we had to do quarantine straight away for two weeks. When you've come from the outside world and your first time, and you're in a cell for 2 weeks, and even a lot of guys were coming off substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, either. And when you've been put in a cell, imagine, guys, being in your bathroom, the size of your bathroom for 2 weeks. Because it was COVID at that time, they let us out which is against the Geneva Convention, yeah? You're meant to allow, even Guantanamo Bay, well, you'd hope, your 23-hour lockdown, you go into a bigger room or bigger cell, and by human rights, you're meant to be able to see the sky for an hour, right? And then they put you back in. But with us, because of the quarantine and whatnot, it was every, maybe 3 days, 4 days for 5 minutes. And then, bro, straight back in yourself. Bro, people were turning, guys were smashing up the plastic chairs in there just to get plastic to do their wrists. It was out of control, man. And I've spoken to a lawyer about it. She reckons there's so many. At that time, guys, you know, people trying to take their lives were out of control because you can't get out of those places. You know what I mean? You can't get out of that cell. And you get to really see what your mental toughness is. You know what I mean? It's like being in the slot, but even in the slot, they got to take you out of.
In Supermax, you have a yard rod in the back of your cell or something for your hour thing. You can see the sky. You can smell fresh air.
Nah, the only fresh air we were getting is through the fucking vent for 2 weeks, bro. It's against the Geneva Convention, and guys were just losing the plot, man. Like, you know, you would hear guys screaming all day, all night, and there was, you know, people just, you know, if you've got anxiety or mental or whatever, like after 2 weeks, man, that's next level, man. It's, you know, but I was lucky that, you know, my mate who's doing that long whack, you know, he would come and talk to me at the vent, but I was in a 2-story thing, and eventually the screws would tell him to move on. But he goes, at one stage, man, I was fucking losing it, eh? I go, bro, I can't do this, man. I'm like, I'm fucking losing. He goes, you got to stay strong, man. You got to stay strong. I said, they're meant to let us out for at least an hour a day. They're letting us out for fucking 5-10 minutes. I said, everyone's turning in here. He goes, yeah, I know. He goes, because of COVID and that. And at one stage, it was like the last 3 days. Honestly, guys, I hit the buzzer and I went, I think I'm having a heart attack. The cell, it felt like it was closing in on me. Like, if RSPCA would shut it down if they did that to a fucking dog, let alone a human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and it gets to really show you what you're mentally tough, what you're made of. Like, at least.
And it's not like your cell has a nice bed. It's got like a TV. Mate. It's got all of this shit in it. It's got nothing in there.
Nah,
it's cold.
I know.
So I can imagine the mental game would have been.
For 2 weeks, bro, they did it. And they let us out just to make a quick phone call. Oh, man. They let us out every maybe 3-4 days just to make a quick phone call. They had their PPE on and...
Lucky, no riots happened. Was there any riots?
Bro, no, the other people, like in the long term, they could come out. We were watching them train and stuff.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could watch them train, but
so that was
we're locked in a cell.
That was a quarantine period, yeah, just for the 2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks,
yeah.
But so it's like it felt like 2 months, bro.
So after that 2 weeks,
I know how that feels.
Did you go straight back in the main?
Yeah. I did all my time in main, man. Yeah.
So when you went in, so this was your first time inside, yeah?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So when you went into the main after that 2 weeks,
yep.
How was it? Like,
look, being a big guy. No. Look, being a bigger guy and the guy who's doing the long time, Yeah, I won't. He's very high up in a place in a certain thing. I won't say his name, but yeah, he got 46 years. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And he's got to do 18. He's got to do 18. And it was his yard, bro. You know what I mean? So it's his yard. So yeah, it was for me, I just slotted straight in.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you a story, right? So I got out, and then I was in a 2 out for maybe one night, right? This is how much pull he had. He organised the cottage for me. So I went into a 2 out. This young kid, he was in there. He was 19 years old. He was in there for pinching cars or something or other, right? And this is my first time. And then he goes, "Come on, grab your shit, and we'll go to your cell." He's taking me there, and I'm going, "All right, cool." And to me, it was like Christmas because I'm finally out of that fucking cell. I'll be locked in.
Yeah.
It was like I actually got out of prison, bro.
Yeah.
It was like I got out of prison because I was in that fucking cell for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? For every couple of days, come out and then they lock you straight back in. And so I was like, I felt like I was already free. That's how your mind works. We walk into the cell. There's a young kid by himself, Rob. Yeah. Oh fuck! I almost said his name, but anyway, I almost said his name. But he goes, which bed do you want? I go, the kid was already on that bed. I said, I want the one with the vent so I can get some air because I said I'm been getting claustrophobic. He goes, oh, move your shit and move over there. And the young kid, he's a big dude. He's got the beard. I'm a big guy with the beard. We're both 120 plus kilos. This young kid's like, we didn't do that. And then he goes, the cell's pretty fucking disgusting. He goes, start cleaning to the kid. And I'm just standing there. I didn't say nothing, yeah? And then he goes, oh, I got to go make a couple of phone calls and I got to speak to these screws about something. All right. I said, the kid's going, I go, buddy, come here. This end, just relax, yeah? I go, relax. I'm not like that, you know what I mean? I said, he's done a fair bit of time and he's here for a long time. I said, just relax. And the kid's going, do you want my shapes? I go, no, it's all good. I'll get my own. You know what I mean? Type of thing. Anyway, but yeah, so it was a bit like that. And then the next day, they got me into a cottage the next day. But how's this? This is no bullshit. God strike me down if I'm lying. I went to pick up my bags and he goes, no, don't touch your bags. I go, what? What do you mean? I said, it's my shit. I need my stuff. He goes, nah. He goes, hey, you grab his bags. I went, I go, bro, we're not in fucking Bali. I can carry my bags. This is no bullshit. He goes, nah, I want everyone to see. I went, okay. All right, cool. I'll just play the fucking game. You know what I mean? Because it was his yard and that's how it is, bro. It's sort of, and I was like, okay. So, yeah. And then everyone would crack the shits because they wanted to go into, a cottage and stuff like that. And I got in there in 2 days. But, it was always a fairly high level and he's higher than me from a different club. So does that make sense? But we've known each other since we were kids. He's been to my engagement, my wedding when I was married, and engaged. I actually trained him to be, a champion bodybuilder as well. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is it segregated there in Melbourne?
In what way,
with nationalities or bikie clubs?
Bikie clubs, yes. We had a guy who came in who was meant to be rivals of the two clubs. My club that I was a former member in and his club as well, right? And we heard the screw came up and told us he's from this such and such, and he was on the phone, and we were pacing back and forward waiting for him to come out. And obviously Intel fucked up, and he got taken out because we had to do what we got to do. It's just it is like that, man. It is like that. But it's funny because you'll probably have the Aussies. We had a lot of the Sudanese. You have the Vietnamese. We had our crew. Our crew was like bikies, and we were with a lot of the Lebanese and the Muslim brothers. That was our crew, and Italians as well. There was Italians who were doing a long stint as well. They were doing 30 years. So that wouldn't, they wouldn't be upset about me talking about them, because I'll be honest with you guys, no shit. I still pass on messages. I'm not allowed to talk to them, boys. I'm not allowed to talk to them. But for their birthdays, Christmas, Easter, New Year's Eve, I still pass on messages to say, hey, boys, I love yous, I miss yous, and I still thinking of yous. And they go, you know what they say? They say, fuck, he still hasn't forgotten about us. You know what I mean? And that in there means a lot, because a lot of people forget you. You know what I mean? Just a little thing just to say, I haven't forgotten about you. I love you. I miss you. To them in there, and they'll pass on messages to all of them. Hey, he said to say hello. You know what I mean? It means a lot to the boys in there, man. It means a lot.
You didn't have it bad in there. Like, it wasn't really rough for you. It was good.
Nah. Being a bigger guy and I was a high level guy as well. Plus, I walked in there about 125 kilos. Know sort of how to handle myself a bit. So to say, I'm not the best fighter in the world, but I can put them together, because I've trained boxing, kickboxing, MMA for at least 10 years, so on and off. And I think if you stay out of the politics, but the politics does come to you, especially because he had to sort out problems. But I would just stand next to him and make sure he was all right. I was sort of like, at the end of the day, I was sort of like his bodyguard, so to say. Because, if one of the other guys got into a situation with another crew and whatnot, it has to be sorted out. You know what I mean? It has to be sorted out. And generally it's either be talking or it's one way or another. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But I was fine. If you try and look for the trouble, like patches, the nicotine patches and cigarettes and tobacco and all the bullshit and drugs, because there is drugs in there, then you're gonna come unstuck. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of gambling in there as well, guys. There's gambling. There's guys who are, they'll be gambling and they'll have they'll have their accounts outside as well, mate. And then their accounts get pretty hectic, and then they can't afford to pay it. They buzz up and they're gone. You know what I mean? So it's an eye opener. It's another world. It's bizarre to say the least.
It is.
It's another world, mate. Hey, it's another world.
The politics are hectic in Joe. Like, it's really
and it's who's who in the zoo. You know what I mean? And they'll try and pull your bluff. They'll try and pull your bluff. I only got into a couple of situations, but nothing I couldn't get myself out of, or they were gone one way or another. You know what I mean? They weren't there, or they were gone. So no, I was lucky enough to, and I learned, to stay out of the rubbish. You know what I mean? By the end, I was working in industries. I was working as a food billet, and I trained that much. And I just, as soon as I saw it was like bullshit talk, I just like, oh, I can't. This is rubbish, man. I can't be bothered with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about
see where this is going?
What about like as a bikie, man?
How
was it? And when did you realize? Did you ever realize like, this is bullshit, or fucking this is not me, or I'm over it, or fucking?
But my thing was, I was in it, and I got put on NA for 2 years, man. when I got out. So I couldn't even see the boys. I couldn't talk to the boys for 2 years. They put me on NA. They wanted me to trip up really bad because of the people I was associated with inside and outside. But I remember when I got out, I was driving around in my Mercedes, the AMG that I had put aside, and they should just follow me around, waiting for me to slip up. You know what I mean? Even just flying the chopper. I'm not trying to be paranoid, but just flying the chopper over the house, just hovering, then just fucking off. You know, you just know when something's not right. You know what I mean? I was just getting followed everywhere. And they just, at the start, they want you to trip up so they can get some information out of you and you know, get you to roll somehow, and this, that, and other. But I found this new faith, and I just wanted to change as a person, man. I tried my best, and I got baptized. I got baptized when I got out.
So you're Christian? Is that Orthodox?
Yeah. Just Christian, bro. Just
Okay.
Christian.
Okay. There's not a denomination that you're part of, or that you think?
I ended up going to a church, and then I didn't like how they constantly asked for money. I didn't like that. And then I was hanging around with a politician who's fairly high up, who went to my church, and we were meeting up outside. And then the pastor sort of questioned why him and I were meeting up, because our politics was the same. You know what I mean? So it put a sour taste in my mouth, and then I never went back. But to me, I just think your faith is in your heart. You know what I mean? I think it's in your heart. And it's made me really reflect through different things in different ways and try and be a better person, to be honest with you. Some of the stupid things.
How important is faith to you now, bro?
Massive. The way of the world. Like, look at the madness going on at the moment. I just went on. I don't watch the news because it's depressing. Something's not right. You know, I think we're in the book of Revelation, personally. We're in,
looks like it,
100%, bro. Word, it does. It's like my grandfather said this to me when, you know, he had a lot of faith. You know, he was, you know, they were all Christian people, and just what's going on, man. You know, it's just such madness. You know, it's like the Babylon the Great again. You know, it's
a repetitive cycle, bro. It's good times, bad times, good times, worse times, good times.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's going to become good times, bad times, and then it's going to be last times.
Yes, I believe.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm ready for it. I hope it does happen. It needs a massive cleanup, man. A massive cleanup, to say the least. Now it's just getting beyond the joke to what society's morals have dropped to. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have seen that Hawk 2 girl. How is she a celebrity from saying that, bro? Yeah. You know what I mean? How is she a celebrity from saying that?
That's just the world we live in now.
How are many of these girls celebrities for the shit that they do?
And there's a lot of women out there that deserve to be role models.
Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, I can name them forever. You know what I mean? It's pretty shit. It's pretty fucked up. That people idolize that. Look what they idolize. Look at the shit they idolize, really.
But it's not even just famous people. A lot of people.
They're the same people that were fighting over toilet paper in the fucking shopping center during the lockdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that shows you that shows you who they are and what that shit does to people.
Even to my Muslim brothers, it's haram on the next level. The jinn and shaitan is in full flight at the moment, bro.
Yeah, 100% it is. 100%.
And it's getting worse because I think it's coming close to the end. And I hope it is. I really do hope, because
What do you mean by the end?
oh, look, I believe I hope it would be like an Armageddon, and just, you know, I'm sorry to say, but that's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen, and just because it's just becoming madness. It's becoming madness to me. What if, like, what's going to happen in 5, 10 to 20 years? I hate to think. If this is what we're talking about now, what's going to be acceptable then?
But we've got to look at why are we here today? We can't sit on the fence and go, you know, it is what it is. That's why we're here today, because people sat on the fence when it started.
I totally agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
I've been posting a lot of stuff on social media about all the stuff, but I hate it.
Yeah.
On Instagram, my followers dropped massively, bro. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. And you know what I did? I say to him, I told him, if you don't fucking like it, fuck off. Don't follow me then. Sorry for swearing. I shouldn't swear. But it just shows. They were friends of mine who, you know, and they just, well, then you're accepting that that's a good thing. It's not a good thing, bro.
You know what I've realized?
Makes me sick. Yeah.
I've realized that people don't like to hear the truth.
Of course.
They like to live in their fantasy, and then you get ousted because you told the truth and you brought facts, and they can't handle that. They're living in their fantasy world. That, you know, the Matrix. These guys are the ones that know they're plugged in, and they choose 100%. To stay plugged in. You know what I mean?
100%.
They've chosen that. They're like, you know what? No, don't unplug me. I'm enjoying this. Just leave me here. But you know, deep down, they know the truth. They don't like it, and that's how it is. That's society today. That's, you know what I mean?
It's like Malcolm X, what he said. I just brought it up now because I don't know word for word, but, you know, Malcolm X got some crazy words. But one of his ones that he said here, the quote was, if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing.
That's it.
There's another one.
That's why they get people like that. They get rid of them, man. You know what I mean?
There's another one that Anthony Mundine said on our pod, and I believe that's a quote from Malcolm X as well. And he said, the truth is like a rock. When you throw it between a pack of dogs, and the one who barks the loudest is obviously, you know, the one it hits will bark the loudest, basically.
The one who that was a good one. It was Malcolm X.
That's Malcolm X. Anthony Mundine actually said it on our podcast.
Yeah.
So, like, you could be set up as, like, they'll make it out that the people that are telling the truth are liars, and the ones that are lying are telling the truth. That's just the world we live in now. It's a very deceiving type of world, you know. That's what it is.
You know what? But I truly believe that at least the majority of these people that are believing this or acting like they believe it, deep down they know. They just don't want to know. Yeah. When people are confronted with truth and facts, and it goes against what they enjoy, what suits them, they won't accept it. They don't care. They know, but they won't accept it. That's the problem in society today.
They're scared of losing their luxuries of, you know, just their house, their cars, and this and that. Just that, you know, they're scared of losing it, but it means nothing. You know what I mean?
Bro, that nothing. Too.
It's empty. It's empty.
That too, Zoltan, you're right. But you know what else, bro? I'll tell you something. We should have more talks with people we disagree with, like a debate.
I agree.
Which doesn't happen. It's like me and you now, right? Like, say me and you are talking, or we're all talking. You say something I don't agree with, and I'll be like, you know what? This guy doesn't deserve a platform. Let's cut him off. Let's report him. Let's block him.
I know.
This shouldn't be happening, because the way people get along is it's okay. It's all right. We don't have to agree on everything. It's impossible for anyone to agree on everything. You're always going to get disagreements. The beauty about that is you respect people's opinions and you see the differences, and that's it. You move along. You know what I mean? Us as podcast people, I'm not even the same. Yes, there's probably one thing that we agree on, a couple of things, but we're all different. We don't agree on everything. You know what I mean?
Of course.
It's it's stupid what they do. Like, someone has the right to say what they can. You can argue back, and that's it. Leave it on the table, and see you later.
Here's the thing: just because someone has an opinion and it opposes yours, doesn't mean they're not a good person.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean they don't deserve your respect. This person is standing by what they believe in. That alone is enough for you to respect them, regardless if it goes by what you believe or not, or what your opinion is or not. They're strong enough to stand up for what they believe in. That's enough to respect someone. You know what I mean? So regardless what their opinion is, they could have a different opinion. You could have an opposing opinion, but you could agree to disagree too and just move on. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to change everyone's mind and shove your opinion down their throat. You know what I mean? So that's something people have to learn.
Could I ask you guys, with the way we're talking right now, we're being so nice and humble and talking and letting the other person talk. What I've noticed with a lot of other individuals like that, they'll cut you off and they start pointing the finger and being very, very disrespectful in the way they will try to get their point across. Yeah, they do. And a lot of those people, I think, they don't want to have faith. They don't want to know about faith. And they've lost a lot of that respect.
But the minute someone gets emotional when they're trying to make you understand their point of view, it starts to become personal for them. So when you got to stay logical, you got to understand, you got to separate between the person and what's being said. You've got to separate between, okay, this guy is a very humble, respectful person. Unfortunately, doesn't agree with me on this specific thing. It doesn't mean he doesn't deserve. Like I said, you could still respect the person. You can still speak to them with respect. It's not them; it's their opinion that you don't like. It's that narrative that you don't like. So you could give your opinion too and stand by what you believe in, and it doesn't mean that person's a bad person. They just view the world differently.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like, it always is.
That's just how it is. Everybody that wants to argue a point believes that they're in the right. So there's no bad people in the world now. Everybody's a good person.
Everyone's a winner.
You know what I mean? You know, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's fucking loser talk. Everybody
do you know
wins.
what I mean? Do you know
That's
what I mean?
problem.
But everyone who's sitting there trying to argue their point of view is going to tell you I'm in the right, and then the other guy's going to tell you I'm in the right. So who's really in the right? You know what I mean? It's just you've just got to people have got to just stay calm, collected, and listen to understand, not listen to sit there and roast someone or drill someone about something or look for mistakes. So when someone tells me what their narrative is or what their perspective of something is, I kind of listen to try and understand it, to see it their way. You know what I mean? Where there's people out there that listen and then they find one thing that you slip up on and then bang, they hit you with something else. You know, they say, oh, but you said this before and you said that, and they try and attack you rather than, so they're not listening to understand. They're listening so that they can find an opening and just respond and kind of make you look shit, basically. You know what I mean?
Everyone's become that bad wife now that grabs one word out of the conversation and runs with it. You guys agree?
The one-liners, bro. I love you, man. So,
guys, I gotta tell you, we're a dying breed, guys. We're a dying breed. That's
I don't know what a bad
part
wife
about this world.
I don't know. What's a bad wife? I've never experienced it.
That's because you're a man on top, man.
I'm men on top, brother.
But that's just what it is, man. You know, like
you're lucky, bro. You're lucky if you do have a wife like that. God bless her, man. Because these days, whoa.
What do you mean, bro? I made her like that. No.
So, man, that's proper.
You're gonna shoot me now.
That's just edit that out. Edit that out.
Bro, leave it in there.
Zoltan, would you ever get married again or anything like that? Or
bro, I don't believe so. No, I'm so much happier working on myself, doing what makes me happy. Like today, I work most of the weekend and stuff like that. I did my meditation just to clear my mind. Went and did my cardio, did my strength and core and conditioning because my back's been a little bit sore from the old deadlift days. And then came home, prepped some food, and I could just be inside myself and my mind and not have someone going la 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 la. I just can't do that anymore, bro. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is. I just can't do it, bro. I was in another relationship and she was awesome, but slowly that la 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 came out and I just said, I can't do this. Not after I just couldn't, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't believe so.
Does it kind of sound like yes?
I found my inner peace again. I found me. Because after the divorce, bro, I was broken. I put on so much weight. I was depressed. And now, my mental strength is back to and surpassed where it was prior to, previously of the marriage breakdown and then losing 2 loved ones who were so close to me. After that, I was just a mess. And now I never thought I would get back to it, but I think, I was, because I was with a lot of the Muslim brothers and I prayed, I ended up I was praying 5 times a day as well, bro. Word, I swear, I was. And I think it healed me as a person. So if I'm feeling that good, as soon as I feel, I just can't do arguing anymore, man. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't do it, bro. That makes sense.
Bro,
I've got my peace.
Zoltz, you don't have to answer this. You don't have to answer this, but like, do you still stay in touch or anything with the, like, 'cause you said you had a daughter?
Yeah, I do, but okay. She's a lot with her. She's a lot with her mum at the moment. I can't say too much, but she's going through her teenage years. She's going through her teenage years. She used to be my sidekick and my little, at the moment, Dad's not the most, not,
I hope that changes for you.
It will, but at the moment, Dad's not, I can't say too much.
No, but, that's right, bro. No worries.
Teenage years are pretty full on. Yeah.
We're probably going to be wrapping it up soon. SG, you guys got some questions? I've loved this pod. I'll be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
I've just looked at the time, and I'm like, wow, we've almost gone for an hour and a half.
It's gone quick, man.
And honestly, really? Is it?
Bro, I didn't even notice. I've actually enjoyed this one. This one I've actually really enjoyed, especially because
I told you I could talk underwater, bro. I told you I could talk underwater. I told you.
Are you still in the bodybuilding scene at all? Are you still training, or are you still training people? Or
I'm still training, bro. I still loving my training. I'm doing more functional stuff a bit more now because my knees. I blew my knee out years ago. I was doing strongman events. I was doing the Husserfield Stone. It's around about 150, 60 kilo rock. And I was adjusting it on my knees. And when I did it heaps of times. I should have wrapped my knees up, but I was big and strong. I was like a bull, and my knee popped, man. But it popped, and I tore my ACL. But guess what, bro? I had to learn how to walk again. My knee was fucked. It was all written off. And guess what, though, bro? 4 years later. 4 to 5 years later, I think it was 4 years later. Yeah, 4 years later, I still won heavyweight Southern States. I rebuilt myself, heavyweight Southern States, and I won the Australasians, IFBB, and I qualified to go to the Universe and the Worlds with a blown out knee. Even after that, I rebuilt myself, bro. It was fucked. Like, I'm talking the scar tissue, everything. Learned how to bend my knee again, and I got back up to squatting 5 plates a side again. But just through sheer tenacity. You know what I mean? Yeah. By that never will die attitude. And look, I wake up in the morning and before I have a hot coffee and a shower, I walk like Frankenstein. But and it breaks my heart when I see Ronnie Coleman now. Like,
yeah, he's all
he's
fucked
so
up.
his body's.
That's
It
sad.
breaks my heart, bro.
That's very sad.
But Ronnie's next level. My biggest deadlift was 305. That was my best.
Wow.
But Ronnie was doing, what was he doing? Like close to 500. I think.
I think he was doing 400, 500.
I think he was 465 was his biggest deadlift, and he was a bodybuilder. So that wear and tear. I've done my disc twice as well. I've done L5 twice. So now I do everything seated, guys. You know what I mean? I recently, I'll be honest with you guys. On the weekend, I'm a night floor manager and an RSA guy. In a couple of clubs, I had a young kid ODing on me, man. He was passed out in the toilets. I know this is, it's going back to why my back's a bit sore again, but, you know, with the whole fentanyl and niacin and whatever, he was gone. We took him downstairs. We got massive flights of stairs. I held this guy for about an hour and a half, and the ambos didn't turn up. Like, we had him on the phone, but because of all the shortages on funds, because Dan Andrews fucked the state up, federal, you know, it's like, and they're striking at the moment. Like, I found a 10-pack on the floor. They just dropped him. You know what I mean? And we threw him in the bin. But yeah, even in the country town, man, there's stuff going on like that. You know what I mean? So I've done a few TikTok videos regarding, you know, being careful with the guys and stuff like that, guys and girls, because there's a lot of stuff going around. But what actually happened, I held this kid, giving him first aid for about an hour. And then I said to the boys on the door, I go, you guys have to take over. My disc fucking feels like it's flaring up, because he was convulsing, and bro, I was doing
dead weight as well, man. It's heavy.
I was doing sternum rubs on him and pressure points on the finger. He was coming to, and we had the paramedics on the phone. But being a parent as well, you know, he was probably 19, 20 years old. Bro, he was gone. Like, I was putting my torch in his eyes and I was relaying it all to the paramedics. But yeah, so my disc sort of is a bit aggravated from that. So, and I tore my tricep off the bone as well on the bench press.
So a lot of wear.
I used to do a lot of
That's nasty.
to get. I snapped it
nasty.
off the bone. I snapped it off the bone. You can probably see it on the. I'll move that.
That's very nasty.
See the scar?
Oh, bro.
That's a bad, yeah.
You know how I did it? I was on the bench and I was benching 5 plates aside, and on the fourth rep, it just, the tendon snapped off the bone. And my spotter, like a guitar string snapping, it's like a cable snap. It sounded like a cable snap because it was a tendon. When it actually made a noise like that, and it shuddered through my whole body. And bro, you know where it gets worse? I had to press it because he couldn't upright row it.
Oh, right? Wow.
Because it would have smashed me ribs straight down. So I pressed it, and the whole drum of the tricep went like a shirt ripping. And bro, I got up and I went, oh, mom, like that. And my arm hyperextended backwards because the tendon was gone. I went, what the fuck? I almost passed out. And I go, you got to take me to hospital. You got to take me to hospital. And they went to hospital, but they had to wait for all the bleeding internally. And like, it would just swelled up that much. The whole, all my skin, it was all black and blue, and all the skin on my hand peeled off because of the swelling and stuff. I've done some hectic injuries, but that was the one that I could never be the same. But you know, I'm still back on the hammer strength. On hammer strength, I do 4 plates aside still. So,
Like, that's big weight still, man.
Yeah, my uncle goes to me. He goes, what are you still doing 4 plates for? You're not competing anymore. I go, well, 3 plates feels fucking easy. So I go to 4.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, my God. He goes, you're almost 50 years old. What? I said, I'm going to show these young guys that I still got it, mate. He's going to go, oh, that's former Mr. Heavyweight Australia, and blah, blah, blah. And I can't. It's the ego. But anyway, I'm trying not to. But, yeah, now I'm doing a bit more boxing, a bit more functional stuff. Every so often I do some heavy stuff. But nothing too crazy anymore, man. I can't do the real crazy lifts anymore. Not the real, like squats, forget about it. Deadlifts, forget about it. Nah, can't do it.
We're going to probably be wrapping. We're going to probably be wrapping up. SG, go for it.
I know we want to wrap it up when we are, but at the start you said remind you to tell us a story about meeting your
You
idol.
read my mind, bro. You read my mind.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I want that.
Okay.
I want that story before we wrap it up.
My shop, I bought into AAA supplements, right? We were like the place to go, yeah? And we always had the best supplements, yeah? The hardcore American shit, the proper. Anyway, so we were gold class sponsors to the Arnolds. And I thought we had a booth. We had a massive booth. We had all the promo girls, like the Arnold Classic, before COVID. Anyway, I thought, I'm going to get a photo with Arnold. So he rocked up, and I was serving a customer at the booth, trying to make back the money on the booth because we spent $100K for the weekend, it was gold. Naming right sponsors, $300K. Yeah. Anyway, so he just goes to the promo girls, takes a photo with them. By the time I got there, he's gone. Anyway, so we're going to go to the next night, because he's got bodyguards upon bodyguards upon bodyguards. It's ridiculous the amount so no one can get close to him. We're going to the VIP dinner after the Arnold Classic. Yeah. So it's VIP dinner. It's all the naming right sponsors. We just dropped $100K. The other guys have dropped $300K. This, that, another. We're all at the VIP dinner. Anyway, so Sean Roden was there, Mr. Olympia, the one who passed away. He was there.
Yeah, Sean Roden, yeah.
Yeah, he was there, and Tony Doherty and all this. And I'm going, Tony, where? Because he knows me from competing, and everyone's too scared to ask me. I go, Tony, where the fuck's Arnold, mate? I want to go home. That's just how I am. Anyway, because I was tired and I just wanted to go home, and I was in this suit, didn't even have a shower. I put it on because I wanted to get a photo with Arnold. He didn't turn up. But here's the inside story. So the guy who owns Derrimed's gym, Nick, I know him personally, he was staying in the same apartments as Arnold, right? The elevator opens, Arnold's in there with his bodyguards, and Nick just steps in pretending he doesn't even know who Arnold is, yeah? And they go, and it closes, he just pretending he's just looking at the ground, and Arnold's PA goes, Arnold, we have the VIP dinner. Arnold goes, what VIP dinner? He goes, Arnold, the VIP dinner of all the people from the sponsors, you know what I mean? He goes, get the car ready. He goes, Arnold, we got to go to the VIP. He said, I said, now. And he fucking just banged it, and he just left. He was like,
what a fucking prick.
Yeah, bro, I was fucking devastated.
I'll be back, all right. The guy never came back.
The fucking Terminator, bro.
Bro, he just fucking
get the car ready.
Get the car ready.
Chopper. I don't get it. I don't get
it.
Instead of saying I'll be back, this cunt said I ain't never coming back. Fucking dirty cunt.
You can fucking bang it, mate. He just collected probably off all those guys there, probably 3-4 mil, right? Which is fucking nothing to him, I guess, but
still, fuck yeah.
Bro, that's still a good fucking whack for the weekend. That's just for fucking 2 days. Yeah, 2 days, bro.
Turns you off with these people, man.
bro, I'm saying to everyone, I'm going to meet my childhood fucking hero. I'll put my nice suit on. I was so tired. I partied at the clubhouse on Friday night, then worked 2 nights. And then I'm like, I was so tired. And then I chucked the suit on. I worked at the booth all day. Chucked the suit. I would have loved to have had a shower. And I chucked, you know, when chucking the suit on when you're not.
Yeah, I mean, you're not
I felt
fresh.
putrid. And it was a humid day in Melbourne. And this fucking guy doesn't turn up. I was so pissed off. I said to Doherty, I go, Doherty, what the fuck? Where is he? He goes, whoa. he just banged it to the left.
Wow.
So that's Arnold.
What a rip, eh? 3-4 mil
Yeah.
and just does the runner.
Yeah, 100%. He's like,
Kind of sounds like someone from, you know, anyway. I was going to say something, but then I just stopped myself. Bro, you know, before we wrap it up, I want to know something, man.
Yeah, tell me.
You've had a life where you were bullied at one stage. You've done jail. You've done bodybuilding. You've been through it all, marriage, the whole lot, up and down. Give us a cracker advice for the youth that you think is something that will impact, bro. Knowing what you've been through, man. And Richie just disappeared for some reason, but yeah.
I think just be true to yourself and one day at a time, you know what I mean? Life, it has its ups and downs. I could have given up so many times. I've been from, you know, having the AMG, this, that shops and, you know, all the gold and diamonds. And I thought that was going to give me inner peace, all the money. But I'm actually more content in myself right now. And I think mental health is such a big thing these days with the younger youth because I think they're trying to put too much pressure on themselves with trying to have everything at their fingertips too fast, too soon. And the pressure that they're under, you know, it's, you know, that's why I'm doing a lot of videos on hopefully this and then the TikTok and stuff like that to get the, you know, the message out to the younger youth that, you know, money's not everything and just having some inner peace, man. I would have, you know what? I always say this, I would have given anything to have the peace I have inside me right now of not having anxiety and depression. And bro, probably I gave everything that I had materialistically, but I'm the most happiest I've been in my life. And I think it's because I found, you know, my Lord and Savior, you know what I mean? And, you know, you even look at Spaniard, how well he's doing, and he loves his faith. And I think it's good that what he's doing, you know, with the slowly putting it out there with the youth, you know what I mean? Any form of faith is good, you know what I mean? Any form of faith, I think, because you need something to connect to and take your time with it. Don't try and rush. And be true to yourself, and it'll all fall together. One day at a time. I always say one day at a time. I think especially anxiety, especially these days, you know, I talk to a lot of the younger guys and girls, and you know, the mental health is a big thing, and they think that because someone on Instagram has got this, that, and other, half of the time it's all bullshit anyway. You know what I mean? They're portraying this lie, and most of those people, sorry to say it, they're not happy or they're dead inside. You know what I mean? So, and as you get older, you just look through different eyes. But take your time on stuff, man. Take your time on stuff. You know, it's be humble. Me now, as I've gotten older, I've dropped the ego, and I just treat people how I want to be treated. You know what I mean? I just talk to people how I want to be treated, but don't worry if someone's a bit fucking rude to me. Don't worry, the old lion still got some roar in it. Don't worry about that. When it needs to. But I don't like being that person anymore. You know what I mean? I try and just treat people with dignity and respect, and that's the best way to be, man. If that makes sense, guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense, bro. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be good to each other. You know what I mean? Just try that. Drop the ego, one day at a time. and it'll all fall into place. Because I talk to a lot of guys now because I'm, like I would say, night floor manager at a few bars and clubs, and it's a sad thing. A lot of guys are, the younger youth, they're saying they don't want to get married, they don't want to have kids. They're saying, I don't want to lose all my stuff. Like, we never said stuff like that, and the younger guys are saying it. You know what I mean? And the girls are putting so much pressure on them, and they're saying, oh, they're stupid, they're young, and obviously a woman matures faster than a guy, but the guys are getting really crushed and shut down, man. I see that. I see that massively, and that's why, the statistics of the Australian Bureau of Statistics are saying 75% of the people who are no longer with us every week, 75% of them are men in Australia. So there's something wrong massively with the way men are looking at themselves, to what they need to be accepted by, the younger women of today, and the pressure that they put under with cost of living and this, that. A lot of them go, I can't afford a house. Oh, why should I bother? It's just, it's demoralizing them, to say the least. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
It is. It's very sad.
Hopefully, there's more voices that get out, man, just to wake people up. Bro, yeah, Zoltan, not only do I want to say thank you, but bro, what are your socials? What can we catch you on, bro?
Okay, yeah. So Instagram, for the people who haven't unfollowed me, because I do a lot of political stuff.
We're going to give you a follow for sure.
Yeah, what is it? Zoltan. So Zoltan _Mr. _us IFBB. And the other one is just my name, man, on TikTok. The TikTok stuff, it's a lot of stuff about my former life in the 1% stuff and mental health, working with people, men and women out of incarceration or prison and stuff like that. But the government funding got pulled because we were doing so well. The government doesn't like something that they can't control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And our success rate was 33%. Theirs is 3%. And because now being incarcerated is a privatized entity and it's on the stock exchange, if you're reducing the amount of people going in, sorry to say, it's a business. And it's shit, isn't it? That we were doing so well, we were kicking it. I was part of Wise Employment, and I was working in an office job and all that sort of stuff. We were doing well, and then they pulled the government funding because they can't. There was someone behind the scenes didn't like it. Why would you shut it down if it's actually getting people working and going to jobs and interviews and stopping them from going back to prison? Why would you stop it? Why would you? But it's 160,000 a year to house one inmate, male or female. You do 1 yard, let's say 300 to 400 in a yard. Let's say the big prisons are 10 yards. You do the math. I seen there was some screws that we used to walk around who used to give us info. I go, who's those guys with the clipboards? They go, they're investors. It's money. It's money, bro. It's money.
Yeah.
It's money. And if you're taking money off their table, they don't like that shit. So they pull the funding. Why else would you do it? And the guys and girls. I had about 17 women, about 30 guys, ex-people from incarceration that I looked after. Because I had a past, I could connect with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a straighty 180. I'm not just a person who's done a course. Plus, I've done the course. So they knew the lingo, and they can, mate, someone who's done jail, they can work out if you're full of shit or not. Or someone who's from the street, from the hood. You know what I mean? They can see if you're being in that environment or not. And they don't want someone like that telling them what to do. So we were kicking goals, and one day we got pulled in the office and see you later. Fucking hell. So I had to rebuild myself again. But, study. If you got the time, guys, study. Do some studying. Don't watch normal TV because they'll rot your brain. Watch podcasts. I watch documentaries and stuff that's going to educate you. You know what I mean? Don't watch mainstream media.
Mr.
Mainstream
Tainment.
TV. Hey?
Mr. Tainment.
That's it. That's it.
Soon we're going to be
bro.
Mr. Tainment Media. You never know. Where the truth sets you free.
That's it.
What do you reckon?
You would be brilliant on radio, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I know. I had people say that before.
Yeah,
man.
he's got a head for radio, doesn't he?
Nah, not my
I
head.
wasn't gonna say that.
I'm going to show just my voice, not my face.
Yeah, the
We're better
voice,
like that. Yeah.
You actually remind me of, remember back in the day, there was that guy,
Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy. Oh, of course, Eddie Murphy. But remember the guy who used to do the late night calls? And he had that real seductive voice. And he used to do all the love songs and dedications.
Richard
Bro, in
Mercer.
Melbourne. Bro, you got that voice. You got that voice.
106.5?
No.
He used to do really suave. He was really suave. You have that suave voice.
We had a Richard Mercer. He's no longer with us.
Are you serious?
That was his name was Creepy Mercer.
He was like Creepy Mercer. Yeah, but you got that suave voice. But that
I'm just
guy
kidding.
sounded that guy sounded a bit creepy at times.
That's why he's not with us anymore. All right then,
Zoltan.
Because we're just about to end. Thank you. When are you coming to Sydney, man? Because you're gonna have to come up. We're gonna do we're gonna have to do a proper face-to-face pod.
Yeah,
and
a training session together.
And maybe a training session, man.
100%,
Because there's a gym that we got as well. It's in a warehouse. Maybe you could show us the ropes,
really?
mate. You know?
Yeah, that would be fucking awesome, man. Absolutely, that'd be real good. At the moment, I was just getting the funds, the bank account looking really good again, and then something comes up.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
How it is, man.
Then something comes up. It was looking really good. I was proud of myself, especially on the Australia 180 with cost of living. Before it was like easy come, easy go, but that gets you nowhere, bro. And it's just, you don't respect it. 100%. Now, when you're working hard for it, actually working hard for it, and I feel sorry for the families out there that are interest rates and then, everything and if you're trying to eat healthy, it's hard. It's stressful times, guys. It's stressful times. You know what I mean? It's not good. Mm-hmm. It's not good.
But like you said, if you can do it once, you can do it over and over again, man. And that's how it should always be. Zoltz, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Absolutely loved it, man. Guys, give him a follow. Guys. We're going to have his socials in the description. Guys, like always,
follow him, guys. Follow him.
The video. Guys, give him a follow.
Man. Thanks, man.
We're going to be having his shorts up on our TikTok and Instagram videos. Guys,
I can't wait
so much. I'll speak to you, Zoltz. Catch up very soon. We're going to talk. Guys, for now, we're off. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
See ya.
See you guys.